Okay, this is 252 Pop Fiction, where you'll find all the news and reviews and pop culture that's right to type. Today's top story.
Black Widow, the first MCU film to premiere on Disney Plus, will be released in theaters and Premiere Access on July 9th. What does Premiere Access mean?
So Premiere Access is if you pay $29.99,
doing that.
You get to keep the movie. So the day it releases theatrically, you can buy it on Disney Plus for $30. Now, this is one of those things where a customer like me, which if I go to the theater and I take my kids, it's roughly about $150. So $30 is a bonus.
$30.
And I don't have to sneak all the food in.
It's BS, baby. It's still a scam. You're already paying for Disney Plus. Why you got to pay for extra access to some shit?
We only have to pay 50 cents.
That's true.
We'll see it.
50 cents.
I'm gonna tell you the reason why. This is the reason why it's a deal. Okay? Now, it's a deal because when you purchase it on the for $30,
you
get to keep it. So it's like you're buying your DVD of your film that you watched at the theater. But it's not an actual DVD. At the same time.
It's not an actual DVD. It's just out there in the ether.
No, because you can download it onto your device so you can keep it. So it's not one of those things where you buy it and then, if I get rid of Disney Plus, all the movies that I bought are gone. No, you keep that.
Still not a hard copy. All that stuff can still be lost.
Well, you can still download it.
Download does not mean
old man
a hard
art.
copy.
What are you
I'm trying
trying
to tell you, baby.
If you want a tape, I'll make you a tape.
All right, then. That's all I want.
I want a Betamax version.
Thank you. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. Next year, Warner Brothers will release its theatrical films exclusively in theaters. The decision puts an end to the studio's experiment in 2021 of concurrently launching big films including Wonder Woman 1984, Godzilla vs. Kong, Mortal Kombat, The Suicide Squad, Dune, and The Matrix 4 on HBO Max and in theaters for the first 30 days.
So they're going to have it in theaters and on these home things at the same time.
That's what HBO Max is currently doing.
Yeah.
So for next year, they're going to be exclusively back in theaters, is what they're saying.
Okay.
So they're pretty much their 2021 calendar. They're pretty much giving it like you're saying. You're already paying for HBO Max,
right? So
for this, you're getting that movie first run. But it's only there for 30 days. You can go to the theater and watch it if you're brave. You can go to the theater and watch it.
Or if you're vaccinated.
Well, vaccinated doesn't completely protect you from getting it.
Yeah, I know. But just vaccinated and still wearing a mask. I mean,
I just can't resist that 50 cents if you're in.
I know.
So I'm there.
I mean, we paid, we were paying $20 for a month for a service and then movies would cost 50 cents. It was like some fee.
Yeah.
50 cents a movie.
Convenience fee,
I guess. But it was worth it.
It was worth it. We saw a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Those are some super cool movies.
I have HBO Max. I knew I was going to get it. I was against getting it, but I had to get it. And you know what? The movies that they put out there, I saw Judas and the Black Messiah. That was a good one.
That was
a very good one.
Yeah,
I literally just saw Justice League, the Snyder Cut, or I'm sorry, it's Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah.
I just saw that, and of course, I would not have gone to the theaters to see this.
I wouldn't have.
I would have for 50 cents.
No.
50 cents, yeah. we were watching every movie on the list.
I'm saying.
I got 50 cents. What do I not see? All you gotta do is get up and walk out if it sucks.
I'm telling you. And for 50 cents?
I'd watch it.
I'll walk out of a movie for 50 cents.
I'd stay. If it's only 50 cents, I'll stay.
Yeah, well, therein lies the conundrum. I'll stay for 50 cents.
I paid 75 cents to watch a double feature of Cool World and Poison Ivy.
One of those movies was worth it. One of those movies was really worth it.
Cool. Pierce Brosnan cast as Dr. Fate in the upcoming Black Adam with Dwayne Johnson.
I like that. Dr. Fate, baby.
Oh, I love Dr. Fate. Yeah. I love Black Adam. I can't
Pierce
wait.
Brosnan as Dr. Fate? That's perfect casting, man.
That's
I messed that sentence up, but thank you for just reading it straight and not doing the Ralphie what, and correcting it.
Yeah, I know.
But, yes, so now Pierce Brosnan He joins along Aldous Hodge, as well as Noah, what's his name? Noah Centron? Or something like that.
Sounds like some vitamins I took today.
Yeah. And so they're going to be on this Black Adam movie that we've been hearing about for many years. Yeah. And The Rock has been working out and getting ready for Black Adam. He's been working out.
I've been thinking about this. I just saw. I'm going to go against the grain. I just got to say it, man.
Is it a DC thing? Is it a Rock thing? Is it a Black Adam thing? What is it?
It's horrible, man. I know I'm just all going to catch all kinds of blasphemy, but I'm just not feeling Dwayne Johnson as Black Adam.
I think he's a good pick.
Look at him.
You know what? Somebody's got to hate. I appreciate you coming with that stance. I don't agree with it.
I know.
Listen, when they said Zachary Levi was going to be Shazam, I was like, wait, what? But let the man do it. Right. He had the puffy muscle suit.
He did.
It was
the obvious
puffy muscle suit.
But the movie was fun.
Don't get confused. He is Captain Marvel. Shazam turns on his powers because Black Adam activates his powers the same way. Shazam. Because the same wizard.
I went to the movie to see Shazam, so that's what I'm saying.
No, the wizard who gave him their powers, his name is Shazam.
His name is Shazam.
And they call the wizard's name, and the 7 lightning bolts come down and change him into Captain Marvel and Black Adam, respectively.
That was my favorite part of the movie when he said, all right, just say my name, and all the kids said, Billy! And they were like, no, not that, the other name.
And see, that is what DC needs. That was funny.
It was funny. It was funny.
It was a good movie.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
This week's review, I already talked about it, but Zack Snyder's Justice League. Bruce Wayne enlists Diana Prince to face an even larger threat motivated by his restored faith in humanity and inspired by Superman's selfless act. Together, Batman and Wonder Woman scramble to assemble a team to combat the newly awakened foe. But it's possible that it's too late to save the world from a global catastrophe.
This was the best mess I've seen in a long time.
So, the first thing I'm going to say, is
the best mess.
I didn't hate it. Like,
I know.
I was like,
I feel the same way.
Well, here's let's start with the last thing first. Okay? I don't want to say one thing bad about one movie to raise another one. But the theatrical release of
it was trash, man. It was junk.
When I saw the Snyder Cut, I understand now when they were saying that this was a much better movie. Yeah. Now, the movie was 4 hours long. And in 4 hours, you better get to tell your story because this is 4 hours, man. This was a long one. Now, respectively, if they would have cut that movie down, it would have been just like, I felt like it would have been just like in Batman versus Superman, where he cut out things that you kind of needed to know. Because the one thing about the theatrical release of Justice League that bothered me was when Steppenwolf was coming down to get the mother boxes, Themyscira the mother box was guarded by like all the Amazonians there. They were all like guarding the box, and they had this whole thing. When he went to Atlantis, there was like 4 inept guards holding it down.
But now you know why.
Because the Ocean Master was like, nah, no, I'm not sending no extra troops.
There you go.
And they had 2 scenes, which the first one where he got to talk to Willem Dafoe's character, I can't remember his name right now. But that scene was added, and then there was another one. And just while you're looking at Justice League, you could just see that, okay, there's a lot of they changed that movie a lot. A lot of the jokes.
They.
Well, no, it was. No, it's not he because it was. Look, Joss Whedon was doing what?
No, I know he did what he was contracted to do.
He was doing what the studio has. He was trying to make it funny and stuff and blah blah blah. They added in a lot of things. There was a lot of things where they were like, hey, there was. Look, there was a lot of stuff that was added. You can see,
and a lot of stuff subtracted. That's why the movie didn't make sense.
It didn't. Well, make sense,
I could say I've watched it twice.
Ooh, that's
a work day in a row.
No.
Oh, that would have been
I
cool.
probably won't watch it a third time because it's 4 hours long. But there are points when it dragged. And I said, wow, they could cut some of this out. But overall, I enjoyed the movie.
Right.
And then I watched the very end, no spoilers.
No, spoil it.
The fate of Steppenwolf, and I said, that's an R-rated movie.
Yeah.
They cannot put out Justice League with an R, and that's probably why they had him completely change the ending.
Right.
Because, dudes, since, spoiler alert, dude's getting impaled, his head chopped off.
Yeah.
No, that is not PG friendly.
That's true. Yeah. There's a lot of blood.
Yeah. It was definitely was an R-rated movie, and the studio was not going to release Justice League as an R-rated movie.
Yeah, and
so
they went over
even if they cut it down, it wouldn't have flied.
And they went over the F word budget too, because when Batman
twice,
they went over it for a PG-13 movie, but for an R-rated movie, you can have all the F words you want.
Yeah, but I thoroughly enjoyed
the movie. I wanted to see was the final 8 minutes.
Yeah,
I wanted to see
that was supposed to be Justice League 2, and then 3. So unfortunately, the whole Snyderverse is gone. The DCEU as we know it, none of that stuff. Because the other thing that I know we're running a little long here, so I'll try to.
We got to talk about this, man.
Well,
we got to talk about
this. Well, the one thing that they did a huge cut was the Atom. They cut him completely out. Martian Manhunter, they cut him completely out.
I thought I saw him at the end. I was telling
No. In the theatrical release, he got completely cut out.
Yeah,
right.
But they introduced him in the movie. I was like, oh, okay, there he is. And Martian Manhunter had 2 scenes, 3 scenes,
2 or 3 scenes.
And you find out who he was impersonating.
Then you find out, that he was in Man of Steel.
Yeah.
Because there was one thing that always not bugged me, but in the beginning, it was like, you got to wait for the 7 to unite. And then when the movie came out, there was only 6 people. Yeah. So who was the 7?
It must have been.
It was on buses and billboards everywhere. The 7 to unite, and then it was only 6 of them.
The one change that I think I like the best, because you guys know that Flash is one of my personal favorites.
Yeah.
He was a bad joke in the theatrical release.
Absolutely.
Dostoevsky, shut up.
Yeah.
In this one, he had his part. He had to do it. They would not have succeeded without him, and that's what he did his part.
He did some heroic stuff.
He reversed time twice.
Yeah, twice, because he missed the mother box when it touched the water.
Yeah.
So he brought it back touched it.
Bring it back. Come rewind.
He did it again. He brought it back twice, which. If you know anything about Flash, you're not supposed to mess with time.
Don't mess with time.
That's how you ended up making the paradox, which makes sense because that would have
later movie.
Right. See how I just now figured out
Flashpoint paradox.
That would make sense.
AM, what did you think of the Snyder Cut?
I'm getting a better perspective on what you guys are saying about it here. Just by what you guys said, I liked it.
Yeah, it was way better, more coherent, and a better ride.
I would say
than
this.
the theatrical release.
I would say, even though with it being 4 hours, I like how they had the little chapters where they kind of can this was this part of the story. This was this part of the story. Right. Kind of give you a little break,
But something you guys said with Joss Whedon. And it being so, and then you guys said it wasn't his movie, and the studio made him do that.
Yes,
it being so goofy and all that. I think that happened because of the situation, and because it was a gloomy time with Zach's daughter.
Yeah,
the
with
tragedy,
the family,
happened,
right?
And, his daughter committing suicide. So I think that overshadowed everything, and they just wanted to take Joss Whedon's project and just, I could just imagine that whole situation and just gloominess over the whole studio, and they're just saying, hey, take this project, let's bring some happiness into it. And just, bring some joy and just make it.
You know what? I wish you were a studio head, because that actually sounds like
but I don't
a human being.
I doubt they did
that.
I understand what you're saying.
Like a human
I feel
being.
like that's a very human thing to think. I 100% doubt that that's the reason why they did it.
Doesn't it seem like that's what?
No, they were doing it because they were like, we got to compete with Marvel. These movies are great, and they have some levity.
What Marvel movie was corny like that?
No, not corny, but
no, they just thought if they got the guy who directed Avengers, then he would make the Avengers for them.
Right.
But the thing about it is, He directed the Avengers, but they got built up to before that.
Right.
Where in the DCEU, they just wanted to try to make it happen in that movie.
Right.
Now, the last thing I want to say about the Justice League, the Snyder Cut, was, I've always said this about Zack Snyder. He always shoots a really nice looking movie. Mm-hmm. But with that being said, the darkness, the constant, it was 4 hours long because every other scene was in super slow motion. Like, let's be honest. Like, Lois Lane drinking coffee.
Yeah. I didn't need to hear the Scandinavian chant for 15 minutes.
And when the girl was smelling his sweater, I was like, that was freaky.
Yeah, I dozed off like 5 times.
It weirdly turned me on.
But, with that being said, I didn't hate it. I could definitely, and it was weird, and again, I kind of even feel sorry for Joss because of everything else that's going on in his life right now. Like he's
fuck him. He's sitting on his money.
He's being blackballed in Hollywood right now. Yeah. Things are going bad. Even his beloved fans are starting to be like, they're like, you couldn't be allowed to be in a room with the little girl. All that. Buffy's little sister, you couldn't be allowed to be alone with her because you was over there doing wrong. I just felt like the whole house of cards is falling on him.
Hey, and what Ray Fisher said, man, we should have took that into account as well, man. Yeah. Cyborg himself was saying it was a toxic environment.
Going on to that, I hope they do him right because that was the one thing that he did say that was absolutely true about the Snyder Cut. Cyborg had a way better story.
So much better.
And the Flash. But I'm just saying, Cyborg's...
He was damn near cut out of the theatrical release.
He was this much more than...
My toes hurt. I don't even know how that's possible. Shut up!
You guys don't think that would make the movie, the part of what made the movie too damn long, though?
Cyborg story.
Both. I mean, all that.
You got to make a movie, and we have to get to know these characters somehow because we didn't get to know them.
We didn't. The movie that was released, we didn't know. We didn't know anybody. We didn't know what their wants were. We didn't know what the thing is. We just saw them all on the screen together and do it. Their motivations, everything was skewed in the theatrical release. I would even say, even in the 4 hour thing we got, like really. Like Wonder Woman, okay, maybe she was doing for Themyscira. I don't know. Batman, we know exactly why Batman was doing it.
Yeah, his motivations.
Aquaman, we don't know why Aquaman did it except for the fact that
he's an adventurer.
He wants to do something. When he made this, the only thing we
Flash
saw
obviously
Aquaman
just wanted to have friends.
Was him in the water.
Yeah.
That was the only thing you seen in the Flash, and that brief glimpse of Cyborg getting, or him getting converted to Cyborg.
Right.
That's the only thing you saw. Those characters were the brief scenes in Batman vs Superman.
Right.
So I think they did need to take time, but now that Aquaman's been released, and
they had to kind of back into this story, and it sucks too because this Snyder Cut way better than what we got in 2017. A build up to the Snyder Cut would have been great. A Cyborg movie, a Wonder Woman. An actual
sequel, not the prequel. A sequel would have been great.
I remember
a Flash movie.
There was a brief scene in there where Aquaman's hanging out in that old temple, acting all moody, and you can see the lights of Atlantis. But he says he won't go in. He says, "This is your birthright, this and that," and he won't go in. I thought of you, Kurt. And you're like, "He's been to Atlantis." I said, "No, he wasn't in Atlantis. He wouldn't go in."
He was close enough.
He was close, but he was hanging out on the outskirts.
I had a problem.
And the temple where the mother box was on the outskirts, because in one scene you could see the lights of Atlantis.
Well, you know what though? It was. You needed that scene though, because I didn't get that in the theatrical.
Yeah,
in the theatrical, I thought it was.
I know.
Okay, all right. Now I'm listening to you.
That's why I said I was thinking of you.
I wasn't listening.
Yeah, he's just trying to prove that he was right when you were already saying that.
Anyway, what does JB remember this week?
I'm not done. I still got shit to say about the Snyder Cut, man.
The villains, the Snyder Cut.
The villains were good. Yeah. They had motivations, clear cut. It wasn't just I want absolute power. It was all right, I got to do this because the big homie said I got to get this done.
Yeah, actually, you are right. I did kind of blow past that. Steppenwolf actually had a reason to be doing what he was doing before, because he was trying to get into the good graces of Darkseid.
And
now,
his,
the one thing
nephew.
that they showed that I thought was weird, Darkseid was supposed to be this big, powerful badass, and then
he got his ass beat twice.
Yeah, I was like, they kind of dispatched Darkseid pretty easily.
Yeah, I'm saying.
With all the forces
he was fighting Zeus and Ares and Green Lantern and the Amazonians and he had a lot on his plate.
If Darkseid is as badass as he's supposed to be, Zeus and them shouldn't be nothing.
Steppenwolf was fighting like 1/10 of the resistance Darkseid got when he showed up.
All right, I'm just saying.
No, the only thing that bothered me is Orion and Highfather and the New Gods. There's a treaty. Darkseid keeps hands off of Earth. Why didn't they show up? All these parademons flying around Earth. He's got Steppenwolf attacking at will. Where the hell were the New Gods? But that would have been a whole.
That would have been a 5-hour movie.
Okay, now this is a 5-hour podcast, but I would say,
hey, they love us.
Listen, all right. There's two things that I want to say before I'm let you get
Let's go.
There's two other things that I want to say because I just thought about it. The one thing that I did like in the theatrical cut that wasn't in there was when they were talking about their plans. And then Aquaman had that moment where he was like, "Yeah, I'm actually kind of scared." And when he was sitting on, because he was sitting on, okay,
I don't want to die.
That was, I know, and they got rid of that, and I'm like, okay, but I did like that scene, and there was another scene there that I thought was, I don't know if it 100% had to be in the movie, but there was a point where you can kind of say, when they resurrected Superman and they were all worried about the pet cemetery, I believe they took that line out. The pet cemetery.
The pet cemetery, yeah.
Yeah, I think Flash, he said that in the theatrical cut, but they took it out. But they were worried about Batman going ape shit, right? Or Superman going ape shit. But Batman knew that he was going to get the big gun,
But in this cut,
that she was leaving and saw him.
Well, they set it up though, because she always visited the.
No. I get that,
Yeah.
and that's the reason why in the actual thing, Zach set it up that she was going to be there to come back.
Exactly.
But I kind of like the fact that Batman knew. Because he knew that if Superman does go crazy, the one thing that will bring him back would be. And I like the fact that they showed that Batman had that
contingency plan.
Yeah, right. But he didn't have a contingency plan.
No, she was in the theatrical.
That's what I'm talking about.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
But in the Snyder Cut, there was no contingency plan.
No, Martian Manhunter kind of got her out the door.
Yeah, that's right. Wow. It all just came together.
And yes, in the world.
No, she was, because she showed up. She showed up.
And here's the last thing I'm going to say is... Johnny,
I didn't know the guy who originally played Jimmy Olsen in the 1977 was he in the theatrical?
Yeah, he was in both.
He was in both.
He was the security guard at the prison off a reshoot in that one, like the guy when the Flash did the eyeglasses.
That's crazy.
And then in this one, he was the cop.
He was the cop. Okay.
Easter eggs.
And the last thing I was going to say is, did anyone else think it was a little bit jarring that Johnny Depp's ex was British all of a sudden?
Yeah,
I was afraid to say something, but she might whip my ass.
All right, I can't get any better than that. That was good.
All right, this week, JB remembers the California Raisins.
Whoa! Yeah.
Whoa, blast from the past.
Ooh, I heard it through the grapevine.
They were a claymation band whose lead singer was a man named Buddy Miles.
I never knew that.
Came from a 1986 Sunmaid commercial where they originally appeared.
Yeah.
And it was very popular and appeared in a series of commercials until finally they went to Priority Records, never heard of that company, and released 4 studio albums between 87 and 88.
Albums?
Albums.
Yeah, I learned that in Straight Outta Compton.
I knew they had one album because Ralph had the tape and you loaned it to me.
Damn.
And that was a long time ago.
That was. And I know that I got that from my mom. I never saw it again. Where's that tape?
All right, kids. What a tape.
That's right.
Is.
I forgot.
I heard it through the grapevine by the California Raisins. Made number 84 on Billboard's Top 100.
Sung by the California Raisins, not
Sung
by
by
Marvin
the
Gaye.
California Raisins, Buddy Miles. 1988, they did a mockumentary called Meet the Raisins. 1989, they introduced a Saturday morning cartoon series.
Yeah.
And finally, in 1990, they did a second mockumentary called The Raisins Sold Out. Never knew they were as big as that.
I remember having a posable raisin figure. My mom, she was
They had
into
toys,
stuff like that.
cartoon, TV specials.
I literally
watched the
only
special
remember the cartoon or the commercial.
Yeah, trust me. By then, that was played out. That was really cool in that '86.
They were trying to ride that out, man.
They rolled that to the wheels.
They squeezed all the juice out of those raisins.
Right in,
Oh.
Goodness gracious.
Moving on. I'm Ralphie D, and that's news to me.
I'm Cool Water Kurt. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
We'd like to hear what you think. Leave us a comment down below and let your opinion be heard.
If you like this video, please check out our other videos. Let me try that again. If you like this video, please check out other videos on our channel like Hella Trades and Nerdstalgia.
Say that 5 times fast.
I'm not gonna do it.
And if you're looking for great food and even better relationship advice, please check out my little sis on her show and the beautiful ladies of Dining with Nadiva.
And I'm JB. I'd like to give a shout out to my man
AM.
The Comics Most Wanted. Like him, follow him, subscribe.
Thank you.
And this is 252 Pop Fiction, where you hear it first.
See, we're back.
We're back. We're back.
I'm back.
You're black.
I'm Adonis. Pull yourself together.